Hey there, and welcome to another edition of Man, This is Cringy. Today we are going to be spotlighting Marvel and guest starring Hasbro as well. Now, when you think about Marvel over the last few years, you can probably think about certain characters that, well, they don't perform very well. In fact, lackluster sales pretty much has been a mainstay with Marvel. They will move big numbers with certain things they reboot and give about 20 to 40 covers, but the lower tier numbers, well, they don't move at all. One of those bottom clingers is Squirrel Girl. You can see that right in front of you. And if you think about the numbers this thing pulls, well, they are abysmal. When I talk about these too, remember these are numbers that are shipped to places. These are not sales numbers when you get down to it. Squirrel Girl, it can't move 9,000 units. You know, in a time where comic books, they should be able to actually go out and push sales. This thing is so niche that it can't move 10,000 units. Now, on top of that, LCSs have been talking about what they can sell, and we're looking at about 40 to 60% of items. So, I mean, when you think about those items, and then you think about only being able to sell 4 to 6 out of 10, that's not good. On top of that, you have around 300 or so, usually less than 300 really, trade paperbacks that are shipped every month. And again, how many of those actually move? Now, when you look at that, you're talking about less than $40,000 in revenue per month backed by the Marvel machine. So when you see that, I mean, your first inclination, of course, would be to go out, make this property bigger, and try to sell it to kids, right? That's exactly what I would do. You know, that seems nonsensical, and yet here we are. That's the Marvel move that we're going to be talking about today, and they're going to bring in other wonderful properties to boot. So Hasbro dolls will recreate classic Marvel covers this winter. I mean, look at that. When you think about going out and you think about putting out something special with Squirrel Girl, why not replace Wolverine? I mean, that makes a lot of sense, right? But it gets even better. So let's look at this. In a cross-promotional effort, Marvel Entertainment will publish a series of variant editions of comic books in December featuring Hasbro's Marvel Rising dolls, based on Marvel Entertainment's All Ages initiative focusing on younger heroes. Yes, the synergy is just a little confusing. According to Marvel, 4 December issues and 1 in January, Champions 27, The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl number 39, Captain America number 6, Defenders The Best Defense number 1, and Avengers 12 will be released with alternate covers that are recreations of Marvel's classic Marvel covers from the past 5 decades, with specifically poised dolls from Hasbro's Toyline taking the place of the comic book characters. Now, when you're looking at that and you think, hey, I wonder exactly how some of these will come across, well, wonder no more. I want you to feast your eyes on this. Really, too, when you're going to do this, prepare yourself. I mean, drink in the awesome. Here you go. Man, bum, bum, bum. I mean, look at that doll. Complete with, isn't that a muffin top when you get down to that? I mean, is that exactly what we're looking at here? And I mean, look at the way that this thing looks. Bow-legged, setting together, a little overweight. Looks like it's in some kind of contamination suit. Yeah. And remember, this is posed by professionals, people that are going to give this the best light possible. So when you drink that image in, yeah, this is the best light possible for this iteration. Isn't that awesome? You want another one? You want something else? Well, get ready again to feast your eyes on the team effort. I mean, wow, if you really want to throw the fist to the patriarchy, there you go. Want to grow a giant hand where you can punch Nazis? Well, Kamala Khan's down with that. Man, isn't that awesome? And look at this squirrel, and look at its little arms. I mean, what exactly is going on there? Is it having some type of issue? It definitely doesn't seem to be very happy there, and I don't know where that finger is going, but man, Squirrel Girl, I see you grinning quite a bit. And you know, looking at this too, I guess Backstreet really is back All right? I mean, looking at these characters, look how horrible this comes together. Also, I hope that this isn't finished art, because looking at the shadows and the way that they come together, man, this is just like a tall drink of awful. I mean, the more that you sip it down, the more that it really, really cringes you out. You want another one too? You want one this time? Of course, we kind of ruined it, showing you exactly who's going to be there. Well, feast your eyes on this. And of course, you're going to get a remake there. You know, the champions here, the greatest superhero of all. It's coming your way there. Don't dare miss the next generation of superheroes in Marvel Rising. I mean, look at that. Got to blur it out to make sure that you too don't see all of the details in the background. Yeah, trying to make something that doesn't fly. Well, you're in luck here too. Giant fist, You know, that's the one thing that I've always thought was really insane about Kamala Khan. In fact, I was reading Exiles one day, and she went to put that giant hand over someone's face, and they were in some kind of nuclear dystopia, and I kept thinking that was probably the grossest thing I had ever seen. Could you imagine this giant hand? God knows where it's been. Doesn't have a bottle of Purex big enough for it, you know, with those nasty knuckles and fingers going over your face, rubbing on it and on. Ugh, I mean, that is one of the worst powers ever. But hey, let's turn that into a doll, because again, we can bash the fash. Maybe we can teach the kids young. That'll be awesome. Totally good. And then you want another shared cover here? Well, you're in luck. I mean, look at this. And man, I'm waiting for all of the blowback when it comes to this doll. Look at America there. You noticing that she maybe is a little bit of a pale shade of, I don't know, wider than normal? Yeah, I mean, when you look at that doll, really, again, drink that in. Also, I realize what she's supposed to be wearing here, but it doesn't look like that. It looks like she has bionic legs. It looks like we're looking at different forms of robot. Oh no, the Ultrons, they've got us. We're in trouble now. Oh man, we might actually have Lockjaw in there too. Oh man, I feel like I've gotten Lockjaw just looking at some of this. Here as well. Is she jumping? Is she on a toilet? Well, only the kids will know. I mean, man, you want to be down with that. And of course, we've got Giant Hand again, posing back there with that weird grin as we get this side angle, trying to give us a little bit of action, but really just making me very, very confused on why in the world you would put this out and who exactly you're marketing this to. I mean, when you think about the people that are comprised here, Exiles, you know, one of the, again, newer iterations, you're talking about less than 15,000 units. America, gone. Squirrel Girl should be gone. This actually has had a relaunch there. You know, this has been a character that has been successful. But, I mean, when you look at everyone you're teamed up with here, this doesn't seem to be the greatest mix of heroes. So anyhow, when you look at this stuff, you tell me what you think. Is this something that you think was a good idea? Do you think that you're grasping at straws here, trying to get the young ones in? Because, you know, we're cool, Daddy-O. We're hip cats. You know, we bring the noise. I sometimes feel like Marvel really is just a placeholder. I think that they're an intellectual property holder, and they're hoping that some of this stuff will resonate in some way. They'll build up something that is marketable. They can pull in excess money, but we see the reality of this stuff too. I mean, when you go to places like Ollie's, for example, and you see covers of Squirrel Girl for $2, you go to places like Books A Million and they're liquidating all of this stuff, you know that there's a problem. When you go into comic book stores and they can't move them or they don't stock them, there is an issue. When you don't have over 10,000 units of something on the shelves, that says something. But yet again, here we are. We're here pushing this again because it's for the kids. Isn't that awesome? But you tell me what you think. Also, if you like this kind of content, please consider supporting the channel. There are links within the description for that. There is a Patreon link where you'll get a couple of extra videos a month, PayPal link if you want to direct support, plus other links as well. Also, make make sure that you like and subscribe so you can get daily content here, and make sure that you catch live streams with the Umbrella Guy. Not that Umbrella Guy, but the Umbrella Guy. But always, too, leave comments. Let me know what you think. I like looking through it and seeing exactly what people say about this stuff. And maybe you should contact Hasbro and ask them why exactly we have a paler shade of America. Because, these days, ma-fifis and ma-applause, that's what matters. Because, sales, they don't. Obviously, they don't. So, let them know. And, two, Hasbro, oh man, no, Hasbro maybe, but not Hasbro. Anyhow, let me know what you think. And, of course, as always, thank you for tuning in.